Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for 23 ABC News at 5. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. Local health officials announcing it will soon be able to test for local cases of the coronavirus, what public health said earlier today. Plus, a historic fall for the Dow. We'll tell you how many points it dropped after trading had to be halted when markets opened. 23 ABC News at 5 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. The number of coronavirus cases continues to grow. The World Health Organization reports more than 100,000 confirmed cases across the globe and about 4,000 confirmed deaths as a result. In California, there are at least 115 confirmed cases. Kern County health officials held their daily briefing today announcing there are no confirmed cases in Kern County and that testing will soon begin at Quest Diagnostics. 23 ABC's Bayan Wang joins us live from Quest Diagnostics with updates on locals being tested and the latest developments. Bayan?
Jessica, good evening. That's right. So now doctors locally who are testing for the coronavirus can send their patient samples to Quest Diagnostic Labs locally to be tested for the virus. Now, to be clear, that doesn't mean that residents could come into these labs and be screened. They are still required to go to their regular physicians to be screened. Those samples, however, are sent here to basically determine whether they are positive or negative for the virus. And as you mentioned, Kern County staying clear of the virus for now. There are several people being monitored. However, those tests still pending.
There have been now 9 local patients that have met the expanded criteria for testing, and we have received 3 results, all negative at this time, and 6 results are pending.
According to Kern County Public Health, of the 24 residents they've recently monitored for the coronavirus, 9 remain pending, when including the 3 people who recently flew back from China. Another note for health officials, patient samples will not have to be sent out of the county. Public Health announcing Quest Diagnostic Labs can now test for the virus locally.
This will expand the ability to test more of our residents.
So far, the county is in the clear.
There have been no confirmed cases of COVID-19 here in Kern County.
But with at least 114 confirmed cases of the virus in California, many in neighboring counties, and 1 case recently confirmed in Fresno County, some residents aren't taking any chances.
I have an autoimmune with lupus and I'm on chemo, so I feel it's very important even for those that have the autoimmune should as well take care of themselves.
Another resident recently learned that his age makes him more susceptible of contracting the disease. He's worn a face mask and gloves since.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
You're not taking any chances?
No, exactly. I'm 70 years old. I want to hang on to what years I got left.
Again, health officials here urging really anybody with respiratory or flu-like symptoms to see their doctor immediately. We're live in downtown. Bayan Wang, connecting you.
A historic start on Wall Street after trading was halted for 15 minutes right after the markets opened this morning. It was over fears of the coronavirus and falling oil prices. Trading resumed just before 7 this morning, but it was just the start of a rough day for Wall Street. After the trading halt, the Dow continued to drop, falling more than 2,000 points or around 8% earlier today. It was the worst day since 2008. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ fell approximately 7% this afternoon. Some analysts fear the lack of a vaccine could mean the disease could play havoc with Wall Street for an extended period of time. The Grand Princess cruise has docked in the port of Auckland. This is a live look at the port right now. You can see the lines outside. Health officials boarded the Grand Princess after it arrived. The ship arrived this afternoon after at least 21 people on it tested positive for the virus. Now officials say it will take days to get more than 2,000 passengers off the ship, but the first ones to come down will be the most vulnerable ones, including those showing coronavirus symptoms. All passengers will be screened on board the ship. After that, those without symptoms will be flown to military bases in Texas, Georgia, and California for a 2-week quarantine. Meantime, President Donald Trump said earlier today he will be meeting with the Senate and House Republicans to discuss a possible tax relief measure that would provide an effective response to the coronavirus.
We are going to be asking tomorrow, we're seeing the Senate. We're going to be meeting with House Republicans, Mitch McConnell, everybody, and discussing a possible payroll tax cut or relief, substantial relief, very substantial relief. That's a big number.
Officials say that asking Congress to pay a payroll tax cut is regarded as to pass a payroll tax cut is regarded as a way to help out workers who are experiencing financial hardship brought on by the virus outbreak. The president also added that the White House will work with the airline and cruise industries. This after the president came under fire for his handling of the coronavirus outbreak and what critics are calling mixed messaging. ABC's Inez de la Cuerta is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, new cases of novel coronavirus reported in the nation's capital, one involving the pastor of a church.
DC Health recommended temporarily pausing services at Christ Church, Georgetown.
But President Trump says he's not worried.
Are you concerned that the virus is getting closer to the White House?
No, I'm not concerned at all. No, I'm not. No, we've done a great job.
The president and vice president speaking at a conservative conference just outside of Washington last week. A man who attended now testing positive for the illness. While the man has still not been publicly identified, Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Paul Gosar both came into contact with him. The two are now under voluntary self-quarantine at their homes. Senior White House sources tell ABC News the president and his closest advisors have, as of now, not been tested for COVID-19. Trump adding his campaign rallies will go on.
We'll have tremendous rallies.
But the campaign has yet to announce a Trump rally since holding one last Monday in North Carolina. This week will be the first time all primary season the president hasn't held a counter rally ahead of Tuesday's Democratic contests. The nation's top infectious disease expert urging caution.
If we continue to see the community spread go up, I think you need to seriously look at anything that's a large gathering.
On the campaign trail, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, who are both in their 70s, say they have no plans to limit campaign events, but that they'll take whatever advice public health officials give them. Inez de la Cuerta, ABC News, Washington.
23 ABC and the Scripps national team will be airing a 30-minute special this Sunday at 6 p.m. Coronavirus, the Facts will address important concerns like potential economic impacts, and you will also see what it's like to have the virus and be stuck in quarantine. Coronavirus, the Facts airs right here on 23 ABC this Sunday at 6 p.m.
And we're seeing a lot of cloud cover as we're preparing and monitoring a powerful storm system that's going to make its way through overnight into Tuesday afternoon. We're going to see heavy rain here in the valley, but temperature wise right now we're at 69, 3 degrees warmer as this storm system is bringing fairly, we're going to stay at those seasonal temperatures because it's a tropical warmer storm. But there is a flash flood watch for our mountain and desert communities that goes into effect Tuesday around noon, and that will expire at Wednesday around 5 in the morning. But taking a look at your pattern for tomorrow, for Tuesday, the system of low pressure is bringing that storm in and it's moving counterclockwise. That's going to bring heavy rain to the area. That's why the National Weather Service has already issued a flash flood watch. We will be monitoring that, but air quality for tomorrow will be in the good range. We're going to have an AQI of 30 as that storm system is bringing some fresh air with it. Temperature wise right now we're seeing 55 in Tehachapi, 63 at the Air Force Base, 46 in Lebec, 39 in Fraser Park, and 63 in Taft. But as we monitor the next 3 days, we see that heavy rain on Tuesday, 80% chance of rain. So it's definitely going to bring a nice wet soaking here to the valley. And by Wednesday afternoon, the rain should taper off. We'll just see 50% chance of rain, and we will be back to dry conditions on Thursday. But there's another storm coming this weekend. I'll have the details coming up.
All righty, Monty, thanks. Leslie Chance, the former school principal found guilty of murder in the death of her husband, Todd, is expected to be sentenced this week. Chance was scheduled to be in court last Monday, but was hospitalized. According to her attorney, Tony Lidgett, she was suffering from pneumonia. Chance was found guilty of premeditated murder in the death of her husband, Todd, back in 2013. She faces a maximum sentence of 50 years to life in prison. She is set to go before a judge on Wednesday. As we celebrate Women's History Month, one Kern County native hopes to change the course of history for females by advocating for better practices in the workplace when it comes to handling sexual harassment. Abby Bolt from the Lake Isabella area started her career as a firefighter here in Kern County. She's been a hot shot on fire teams up and down California and says over the course of her 20+ years of fire service, she's experienced multiple occasions of sexual harassment that wasn't handled properly or even taken seriously. Bolt says she hopes to change that for others.
My suggestion is to deal with it at the lowest level possible always. And my goal is to teach and inspire through speaking and instruction and consulting and try to get the community, the workplace culture, to be able to think about it subconsciously and not even realize it and stop these workplace harassment situations before they ever even bubble into something that's a concern.
Bolt recommends apps like Not Me to help facilitate the report of abuse to an employer. The road to the Democratic presidential nomination is basically a two-man race, and it's an important week in that race. Tomorrow is primary day for voters in Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, and Washington. Tuesday is also caucus day in North Dakota. Experts are watching Michigan, a state Bernie Sanders won in, but recent polls show Joe Biden with a slight edge there. Michigan is the so-called biggest prize tomorrow. It has 125 delegates up for grabs. The Kern County and Bakersfield Fire Departments teaming up all week to collect books for the Porterville Library that was burned down by a fire last month. It's all in honor of Porterville Fire Captain Ramon Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones.
Bakersfield is Bakersfield. When there's a need, they're going to help. They saw the devastation up there. That community is hurting. We're going to help them rebuild, and the citizens of Bakersfield are going to help us do that.
23 ABC also joining the cause, teaming up with firefighters from Station 65 all this week to collect book donations. You can drop off books at 10,051 Meacham Road or at any city or county station today through Friday. This drive is a chance to replace books lost in the library fire where Figueroa and Jones died last month. Again, you have until this Friday to donate books at any city or county station. The city of Tehachapi and the Kern County Library Tehachapi branch are also looking to help out. Throughout this month, the community can donate books of any kind for the Porterville Library and drop them off at Tehachapi City Hall on Robinson Street or the library on Green Street. Mayor Susan Wiggins says she and her family have committed to donating more than 300 books.